Hi, 3 and 4-year-old leaders. Today you're going to get the chance to have a little bit of an art project. So you may want to get your teen helpers to go ahead and help start setting up your paints and your water and if you need plastic tablecloths, we'll have plastic tablecloths for you as well. Today we are continuing our series in Goal, where we're helping kids ask and answer the question, what is God like? God is holy, good, and loving. And remember, we've talked about this all the way through, that our God, the one true God, is the only God who has all of those character traits. We've talked about Moses. We've talked about how when he was up the mountain, the Israelites built a gold cow because they forgot that they were worshiping God. And so when Moses came down the mountain again, God gave Moses instructions. He's like, okay, since you guys are having a hard time remembering that I am your God and that you're going to worship only me, even though we made these rules, I want for you to build a tabernacle. And after you build that tabernacle, there's going to be certain ways that you can have a relationship with me and I can have a relationship with you. All ultimately helping us see that he is making a way for Jesus to be born. But until Jesus is born, he wanted the Israelites to live a certain way so that God could be the one true God amongst them, so that the Israelites wouldn't choose their own way. And we are all so much like that. Today will be your last day to play your Follow Moses game. It's the follow the leader in your social time. Remember, these activities are for you to build a relationship with a kid. That's the only reason that I add an extra activity in there, because fun over time equals relationship. And when we can sit and play with kids and help them build relationship with us, we are helping them see what it's like to be a Christ follower. We're helping them figure out how to relate to each other as Christ followers. We're helping them hopefully ultimately see who Jesus is and begin to have their own personal relationship with him as well. Then you will watch your movie and sing your song and practice your memory verse. And then in small groups, this is where your little art projects will come into play. You will have a paper that looks like this, and then you will have some watercolor paints. And there will be enough paintbrushes for each kid to have their own paintbrush. They may need to share a tray of paints with their neighbor, but I'm sure that they can do that. Also, in the instructions, it says for you to use a white crayon to write in your heart. We've already done that for you, so you don't have to do that part. It's already on there. If you look closely, you can see it. But what the kids are going to do with their watercolors is use their watercolors to paint their heart. And then they're going to be amazed as they're painting their heart to see that there's a message underneath their heart. Help them see that God loves them. And because God loves us enough, he made these rules in Leviticus to help us know that he wants to be with us, but our sin keeps us from God. God made ways to forgive his people through offerings and sacrifices. And then he sent his perfect son, Jesus, to be the perfect sacrifice. Jesus never sinned, but he took the punishment for our sin. Jesus forgives sin once and for all. And so this is a great time for you to share with kids what your relationship with God means to you. As they're finishing up their projects, maybe you want to start that conversation and have them talk across the table with each other on what it means to have a relationship with God and what they see when they know that somebody has a relationship with God, or what they're personally doing so to show that they have a relationship with God. You have your memory verse. Your memory verse is Matthew 22, verses 37 through 39. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself," giving a hug. Feel free to use the motions that I've given you in the guide. If you want to choose your own motions, feel free to do that as well. Thank you for loving kids, building relationships with them that help them see who God can be in their lives, and hopefully helping them make decisions to follow Jesus with their whole lives.